you for that previous wonderful talk. It was so lovely. My story is a personal story, travel story, and it started in 1993 in August. It was a journey that I was 22. My then boyfriend and I were embarking on a world tour. We planned to go overseas. However, we did mean to go on such a grand scale as was promised to us by a beautiful family member who was coming into a great deal of money. So it was to be a holiday of our wildest dreams. And so how exciting. We headed off to Thailand. We spent 3 days in Bangkok exploring the cities and amazing, beautiful people, so genuine and honest, and felt so at home. Everyone understands it's been in Thailand, it's so beautiful. We went to the Grand Palace, which is one of the great locations to visit. It's a huge parcel of land with many different halls and pavilions and temples, and surrounded by beautiful lawns and gardens and amazing architecture, spectacular and dazzling colours, and how these beautiful small people of stature could build such incredible creations. So we loved that. The royalty lived there for a good 2 centuries. We visited Patpong Road, which is a red light district in Amsterdam. Oh, no, that's to come. In Thailand. And the first place to visit was Suzie for obvious reasons. And we were surprised to see the array of amazingly beautiful ladies up there standing, half dancing with numbers on, looking so meek and mild and not at all seductory. They're just so beautiful. Many surrounded us straight away, so interested in our interest in them, and obviously in their humanness, not for any other reason. That would have been refreshing for them, as it was for us to meet these beautiful women who explained that they were there because they could earn in one night what it takes their family to earn on a rice paddy. So they send much of that money home. And so we felt so much grace and dignity being there, and finally plied ourselves away. It was very hard, and went to another place we were encouraged to go to where there was shows. Up the stairs we went, dark stairs, dark entry, and there was a catwalk with many different women standing there doing tricks. And we were like, oops, what do we get ourselves into? Ping pong balls, darts, balloons, honking horns, cigarette smoke, all sorts of things. We were sat wide-eyed. Shay and I were very young, as I told you, and we were like, I tried whiskey, didn't like whiskey, but still we stayed for one whiskey because it was free entry, because the cost of the alcohol was huge to make up for it. So we said, no, we didn't want to come here anyway, we're leaving. So we quickly left and went across the road to a place that had women on the stage dancing. Everyone was having fun. It was really upbeat, great music right up our alley, and we enjoyed that, bopped away watching, having fun, and this lady came up to us and gave us a little dancing sign and went, do you want to go upstairs, dancing. And we didn't really know what we were in for again this time, but up we went, full of trust. And fortunately this time we were rewarded with a really great nightclub with upbeat music right up our alley again. We stayed there and danced many, many hours. And when we left, we bought a tuk-tuk home and flew through the city, which is normally jam-packed through the day with millions of people, all harmonious with their Buddhist philosophy. Got me very interested in Buddhist philosophy. And we just had a wonderful time in Bangkok City. The next day we flew off to Koh Samui, a holiday island resort, and found our way to Lamaya Beach, and stayed at the Magic Resort. That evening we had magic omelettes at Magic Resort. That was fun too. Absolutely amazing. We met a newly married couple. We met these amazing, beautiful French brothers, and felt so excited to be alive. We stayed in this bungalow on the beach, and with a hole in the wall, in the floor as the toilet. So we thought we won't be here for long. Unfortunately, the very next day we were to move just up the end of the laneway of Magic Resort to a modern cabin. So on our way there, we were off a bit groggy from the night before, and then I saw the French boys on their balcony and called "Salut" with my little bit of French, and fell off the side of the pathway and sprained my ankle. So Shay, with a little smirk, saying, "You're flirty," helped me back up, and we hobbled back to the cabin, bandaged me up, and then we went to hire a moped each and to go around the island. I didn't even question that maybe I shouldn't, having just sprained my ankle, but I did, and we had a great time going through villages and visiting beautiful beaches, lovely lunch. And on the way back, we're flying, racing. I love speed because horse riding was my thing. And we were going flat track on the motorbike, going racing each other. We got to a bridge, slowly by now, and he was in front, I was behind, and behind me turned up this big black ute. I went, hang on, won't be a moment, don't know why I did that, but I did, and next minute there was a crack on the wooden floor, and my bike wheel found that. Down we went. I went with the motorbike, and it didn't squash me, just hurt. And these beautiful little Thai men turned up and went, oh, very good luck to fall off motorbike in Thailand, very good luck. And I was like, okay, doesn't feel like good luck, but I got straight back up and determined to ride home on my motorbike. That was all damaged and bent. And we certainly made our way home and did a wrong turn, but we found our way back to our cabin. More doctoring from Shay, also had a little tropical wound there, and yes, so then we hobbled to the beach party. There was a full moon beach dance party there, which they have once every year. It's an annual thing at Lamai Beach. It's not Koh Phangan, which is the usual full moon parties. We were very lucky. It was like they were there just for us. So we hobbled up there and sat down on the edge of the dance floor watching everyone else dance. Something I was never used to doing. Bit of a premonition I get for a little bit of taste of the future, but I sat there watching, and the next night the same thing happened again. This time though, we also had the magic omelette. I had the magic omelette. Ludovic and Frederic, the French guys, they had magic omelette, but Shay had magic soup. He couldn't partake in the rest of the evening with us because he had a sore stomach. So God bless him, he let me go off and have great fun. I was trying to translate different things like into French. I knew a little bit of French, Ludovic knew a little bit of English, and at the end of the night was spent trying to translate Bob Marley into French. They were looking at me very quizzical, thinking, how can you not understand it? I understand it, I can't translate it. So it was very challenging but fun. And so I went back to sleeping, trusting Shay, and had the rest of the 2 weeks having a great time in Thailand. But then we had to fly off to our holiday of our lifetime. We got to Heathrow Airport, where I thought my sister and friends were waiting, because God said, we're going to be here now. My lovely family member was preparing them, but no, they weren't there. We had to try and find our way to this suburb, which no one seemed to understand where Shepherd's Bush was, but we found Shepherd's Bush. We stayed at a place, sat in a pub called Moon and Sixpence, and called the home of where Julie was staying, and fortunately she eventually answered, we're here. She was so excited. They come and met us at the pub, and we celebrated being in London. Wow, what a journey that was to be. We went and found a hotel. We stayed at a manor, a lovely manor, and well, not lovely, but a backpacker type manor, but nice. Nice enough. And we stayed there for a week, another week, and waiting for this money to come through. My beautiful family member was tearing his hair out, thinking it's not today, tomorrow. Every day was meant to be. So we didn't think about working. That would have been the normal thing to do, but we didn't think about that. Instead, we had a lot of fun. Went on a red bus tour, did the usual thing, London, St Paul's Cathedral, Oxford University, many nightclubs, late nights, playing lots of cards, lots of videos, and lots of walking. It was just so great, luckily I was walking. And so, yeah, we waited for men to come from Zurich Bank with the cards that we were promised. We waited and waited, they just didn't turn up. We ended up moving out of Mrs Murphy's manor because we said next week, this week, and for too long. She'd had enough. It was time for us to move on. We found a place, another backpacker's place, and stayed there for another couple of weeks, and then one wonderful morning my sister had been speaking to my beautiful dad and said, up and at 'em, we're off to Amsterdam. Yay man, we were up and happy. Booked our tickets and off we went on the channel across on a ferry, bus through Belgium to Amsterdam, where we basically transferred waiting places. Better waiting place here because the guilder is a lot better than the pound. We lost over half each for the Australian dollar. So we explored the 13th world, like setting back in the 13th century. It's so old world, as we all know, it's so beautiful. We really appreciated the coffee shops, what they had to offer for relief. We didn't indulge too much, but we certainly did. And it was very exciting. And we also gained a lot of perspective in visiting Anne Frank's place, like, wow, what a difference in dilemmas. So that really made us think how wealthy which we were. We always had a great attitude, really grew close. It was an amazing experience, really. We experienced, this is another example of our wonderful quote-unquote luck. It was Christmas Eve and tax returns and all sorts of money had come together. We were going to have a great Christmas, and we went to the bank, and as was often the case, it said, unable to complete, contact your bank. So we contacted the bank, go to the bank and fill out the telex. They'll pay you that way. Not Amsterdam, only one in Europe that doesn't have a telex facilities. So we were very downhearted and went back to our hotel called Eating and Drinking on number 7. We didn't do much of either of those things, but that's what it was called. And the manager there was beautiful enough to lend us exactly what we were about to get through. So that was a great trust thing, and obviously we were there for long enough to build that trust. And so, and then we had a great Christmas despite it all, and then on New Year's Eve, had a great New Year's Eve. They let off, anyone been to Amsterdam in New Year's? Let off a competition of bangers, like who can crack the loudest bangers. So it was like World War III out there, it hit. It was so scary, but so much fun. It was this, we'd stay up all night long again and party, and it was such a great place to be at such a young age. And we certainly didn't want to leave, really. We'd meet lots of friends, also did more parties and lots of fundraisers for people who'd got busted with marijuana in Thailand and were going to be executed, all sorts of horrible things. So they were raising money, and they were like big parties to celebrate those sort of things, which is very weird, but we had a good time doing that too. And eventually, after 6 weeks, we said, okay, it's time to go back to England. Julie had a return flight. Shay and I didn't, because the intention always was to live the London life. So that was always going to happen. So we had to say goodbye to Julie, my older sister. One of the hardest things to do. Buckets of tears later. I could still feel it. We had to do it, move away, say goodbye at the airport. It was almost delayed the plane, but it truly is true. Hardship is the glue that binds, because we've just always had that special link that we've got through anything, we can get through everything in the future. It's so beautiful. So Shay and I carried on then for another 1.5 years living the London life, and disasters, dilemmas and delights. Also infiltrated that whole experience too in Ireland, in Amsterdam, on the way home to America, and when we got home. So that's part 2, more stories. All of it inspired me to write my life story called Agony, A Path to Bliss. So that's delights, dilemmas and disasters all in one title. That's still a work in progress, of course, because so am I. But that's part of it, and thanks for sharing that with me.
Thank you.